Here, and welcome to this video about blues endings, or blues intros, turnarounds, endings. And I found 4 nice examples for you that actually are some of my own favorites, so I use them all the time. And the 3 first ones, I'm pretty sure I found out myself how to play them, so I didn't take them off record, but I'm sure that thousands and thousands of guitarists play almost the same, as it is inside the blues language. And the last one, I'm pretty sure that I have that from, I heard Robben Ford play that one, so I have that more or less. The 4th example I have more or less from Robben Ford. And just a few words about intros and endings. It's like when you write a novel or an article for a newspaper, or you write a novel, you would like to have an introduction, and you have the story, and you have an ending. Any journalist or writer will know that. And it's about the same as a guitarist. You should not underestimate the importance of a good intro, a good turnaround, and a good ending. It adds to, how do you say, the whole impression of, the entire impression of your performance. Okay, let's take a close look at this first example. And we're in the key of B flat major, and the 3 chords of the blues would be B flat, E flat, and F. And we start this turnaround. It's a turnaround. In this case, you can also use it as an intro. We started at the dominant chord, the F chord, which is in the 9th bar of the 12-bar blues. And it sounds like this. I have my pick inside my fingers here. I can very soon have it for soloing, and I put it between my 1st and 2nd finger. Okay, let's take this down again. Okay, as you see, when I connect the E flat with the B flat, I use a diminished chord. So the diminished chord is in the 5th fret. I have my 1st finger here in the 5th fret, the 4th string, the 2nd finger here on the 2nd string, my 3rd finger here on the 3rd string, the 6th fret, and my 4th finger down on the 1st string, the 6th fret. You get this nice sounding and I actually pick these notes like the 1st and the 4th string together, and the 2nd and the 3rd string. And then I pick the 4th string, the 1st and the 2nd string. So I simply pick this chord, the B flat 7. So we have. Okay, and now we have this finger play. I play the 4th string with my thumb, and I take the 2nd and the 1st string, the 4th, the 2nd and the 1st string. take a new chord like this, 4th finger, 6th fret, and I put my first finger as a bar over the first 4 strings and the 5th fret. I play the same finger play, move down half a note here with my first finger to the 4th fret, do the same finger play, and the last one I pick as a chord, the 4th, the 2nd and the 1st string. Okay, so we have I start that with my 2nd finger at the 6th fret. I slide on the 3rd string, the 6th fret, 2nd finger from the 6th to the 7th fret. And I go up at the 2nd string, the 6th fret with my 1st finger, and I end down on the F, the 8th fret, the 5th string. So you have and a new turnaround or 12-bar blues starts at that point. Okay, let's take the second example. We are still in the key of B flat, and we start the same place as before, meaning the 9th bar of the 12-bar blues. We start on an F. This time I play the whole thing with a pick. You can experiment playing with the fingers, whatever you like. Okay, we start with this. Again, we connect this E flat 9 with a B flat 7 through a B flat diminished chord. And it's exactly the same as at the previous example, that we have you have the first finger here, the 4th string, the 5th fret, and the 2nd finger here on the 2nd string. You have the 3rd finger on the 6th fret, the 3rd string, and you have the 4th finger down on the 1st string. And then you have this chromatic descending movement. The way I do that is I start with it's a kind of 7 voicing up here in the 10th fret. I have my 2nd finger in the 10th fret, the 3rd string, my 3rd finger down on the 1st string, and my 1st finger down on the 9th fret, the 2nd string. And I pick the 1st, the 3rd, the 1st, and the 3rd string. And I move down chromatically. And this one is, you go back to the B flat 7. Still the same movement, and you move back to the old, this old 7 voicing here, and now you're down here in the 6th fret with your 2nd finger on the 3rd string, your 3rd finger down on the 1st string, and your 1st finger here on the 2nd string, the 5th fret. I have to get it from here. Okay, and you go into this chord. I don't know precisely what it's called, and it doesn't matter really, because this is just a chromatic movement, so we're not that interested in it as chords. And I just take a downstroke, and I have my 4th finger on the 1st string, the 6th fret. I have my 2nd finger here on the 3rd string, the 5th fret, and I have my 1st finger on the 2nd string, the 4th fret, and I make a downstroke. So we have, and I move down to the last chord with an upstroke. And this last chord should be a kind of add 9 chord, I think, but it doesn't really matter, you know. So, and you take an upstroke, it sounds really great sometimes to take upstrokes instead of downstrokes. It adds, it changes the chord, the way it sounds. It is, and you can see I try to move the neck to make some chorus as well. Okay, so we have the whole movement. Okay, let us try to take the, at this point I take the 4th one before the 3rd example because it's a little more straightforward. And this is an ending, and I have it more or less from Robben Ford. And like the other examples, we are in the key of B flat, and we start in the 9th bar again. And it goes like this. Really nice sounding chords. Of course you can play with a pick if you want. It would sound like this. I prefer the sound of my fingers, but often when I come from playing solo with a pick, I just put in my pick here, so I can play with my pick yeah, between my fingers, so it's easy for me to play finger play with that one. But okay, so let's take a close look at what I'm doing. I can try to count this time. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. What I play there are actually triplets, so I play 3 notes per beat. So I can try to do that real slow now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You can choose your own notes, so you can just basically make a break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so the first chord I take here is a B flat 7, and you have the first finger over the 4 first strings, 6th fret, and you have the 2nd finger here in the 7th fret, the 3rd string. And the next ascending chord it's a 7 as well. Nice chord, you know? Nice chord combination. So it's this one you have the 1st finger on the 8th fret, the 4th string, 2nd finger on the 9th fret, the 2nd string, 3rd finger in the 10th fret, the 3rd string, and 4th finger, same fret at the 1st string. And the finger play that I play is I hit the 4th string with my thumb and the 1st string with my 3rd finger simultaneously. And I go down to the 2nd string with my 2nd finger, and I go go to the third string with my first finger. Okay, but if you play with a pick, you just take it, of course, with you just strum over the strings. Okay, so we have at this point we have a very beautiful, it's the E flat added 9 chord. Sounds really great. And the way I play that is I have my first finger down in the second string, the 8th fret. I have my second finger here, the 10th fret, the 3rd string, and I have my third finger on the 4th string, the 11th fret, and my 4th finger again, the 11th fret, down at the 1st string. Beautiful chord. And now we have an E diminished. The same fingering still. And this one I have my first finger here at the 4th string, the 11th fret. I have my second finger down on the 2nd string, 11th fret. We move to the 12th fret, the 3rd string, with my 3rd finger, and down at the first string, the 12th fret. I have my 4th finger. Same fingering, or okay, so we have. Again, we have actually a B flat 7. So now we have 3 nice ways to play B flat 7. So you learn some nice voicings and some nice chords through this lesson, actually, that you can use straight away on your blues playing, Okay, let's take a look at this one. And here I have my second finger on the 4th string, the 12th fret. I have my first finger down on the 11th fret, the 2nd string. I have my third finger on the 13th fret, the 3rd string. And I have my 4th finger, also the 13th fret, down on the 1st string. Okay, so this chord is actually, you have the root here, so it's a kind of B flat 13th chord. And you actually take it from, I can show you here, you have your first finger on the 4th string, the 12th fret, and you put your second finger over the 3rd and the 2nd string. I put it down a little bit like this. At the 13th fret, you put your second finger over the 2nd and the 3rd string simultaneously, and you have your 4th finger up in the 15th fret. So we get this nice sound. And actually I start from a half step above, so I play. So I take it. Okay, let us take a close look at the third example. The third and the fourth examples are both endings, and they are a little more difficult than the other ones we tried, because you have to practice some jazzy chords, or they have some jazzy chords in them. So they're definitely intermediate level, and they are actually professional I would say, professional endings. So, but they're worth learning because they sound so great. So if you're an intermediate player, it should be possible for you to learn it. You just have to practice a little bit. Okay, enough talking. Let us go into that. It starts on an F. Okay, as you saw, there's a break. I can try to count so you can figure out what I'm doing. And I play some triplets down here in the break. You can just make the break without the triplets. I'll try to count so you can get an impression of what I do. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay, as said, it starts on the F. 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. This one chord here, before we get this ascending chords, is a B flat 7. And you mute it just after the strike. And this second chord is an B flat with a D in the bass. And the way I play that is I have my first finger on the 8th fret, the 4th string, the third finger on the 3rd string, the 10th fret, and the 4th finger on the 2nd string, the 11th fret, and then I have the 2nd finger on the D here in the 10th fret. And you mute this one through this finger. Nice sounding chord, in fact. And I play a finger play, so I take the, I have to move a little bit this way so you can see. I play actually a finger play. You can just play the chord if you like, but as a finger play, I play the 2nd and the 6th string. And I pick these two, and then I go up to the. Actually I should do it like this. I pick the set the 2nd and the 6th string, and I go up to the 3rd. And the 4th string, but you could just play it as a chord. Okay, next chord is a E flat major 7. Also sounds great. And the way I take that is I have my first finger up here on the 11th fret, 6th string. I have my 2nd finger here down on the 2nd string, same fret, and I have my 3rd finger on the 12th fret, the 4th string, and I have my 4th finger just below that, the 3rd string. You have to mute the 5th string through this 1st string, so you put it a little bit down, so. But you can use the same fingering there. Okay, the third chord here with ascending chord. I'll try from here. And that is an I would say it's an E diminished. And the way I play that is I have my first finger over the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th string at the 11th fret. I have my first finger up here on the 12th fret, the 6th string, and I have my third finger down on the third string, the 12th fret. Again, you have to mute this fifth string, and you do that through the second finger here. Again, I use the same fingering. You can take it like this. Then we have the last chord, which is an F11. But you can also look at it. This is an E flat triad. You can look at it as an E flat with an F in the bass, with a slash and an F in the bass. And it's also called an F11. You can call it both. Okay, so we have. If you play it with chords, it would sound like this. And the ending are actually some 13th chords. I started half note above the I started the B, and I go back to the B flat and do like this. I think you can see the 13th better if I take it like this. It sounds best if I take it down here at first, so you can hear it. We have the root here, actually B flat, and you have here in the 6th fret the 4th string, first finger there. You have the 2nd finger here on the 7th fret, the 3rd string, and you have the 3rd finger here on the 8th fret, the 2nd string. And here you have the root, so it's B flat 13. And actually I take it half a note up from. And I end with this typical ending up and down, you know. So we have